happy birthday, America. Or belated birthday. By the time this comes out, we're going to be deep into the first week of July. That's what it is. And 4th of July was filled with, rockets and bombs bursting in air and grilled meats and fire and smoke and all that stuff. And honestly, a reminder that I'm way too old to be drinking at the capacity that I was drinking at this weekend. And we don't need to be doing that anymore. But on top of that, I was reminded that some of y'all don't know how to act around pools. Roll the intro.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the...
Welcome back to another episode of the Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santee. And like the intro says, we're going to talk about how some of y'all don't know how to act around pools. Which... pool time in the summer, it's a very lovely thing, especially if you're out in apartments around cities and stuff like that. For the young people, for the families, it don't matter. The pool is a good time, but it could quickly turn into a big dick contest, and nobody wins those. Trust me, nobody wins those. And so I'm going to give you about, we'll say 3 tips to get you kind of ready and geared for a pool time, starting with location. Now, mind you, you're going to want a spot that's something big enough for all of your friends. We'll see what goes on with that one. But yeah, you want something that's going to facilitate everybody that you're bringing to this party, whether that is your own private pool, a neighborhood pool, a pool at an apartment complex, whatever that may be. And if you're in a situation much like most Uptown Charlotte apartments are, you're going to end up violating your guest policy because let's just say you don't have enough residents to bring as many guests as you're about to bring. And that's fine and dandy as long as you're cool with your property managers or anything like that. Or you could just lie and pretend like everybody works, or not everybody works there. You could just lie and pretend that everybody lives there. Just come up with stuff like that. But honestly, as long as you're not being complete douchebags, I don't think anybody working in the property management area or leasing office is going to be that much of a dick towards you. On top of that, you're going to want to get there early. I know for us out in Charlotte, it's things get popping around like 11:30, and it's not really that big of a deal or anything like that. It's not like people are going ham, but spots are getting taken up. You're seeing a lot more. You're seeing a lot more chairs get filled up with towels and stuff like that. Think about this almost as a resort style, where like, especially if you've been to the Caribbean, you know that if you don't get chairs or seats and all your stuff situated around lunchtime, you're gonna get a shitty spot, and nobody wants a shitty spot. So make sure you map out your locations, map out where you're gonna be, make sure there's enough people to actually like cover this distance, because nobody wants to be that one douche who's sitting there with like a towel or a bag saying like, oh no, my friends are coming. They're not coming. Your friends left you because they're bad planners and don't know how to show up on time. But yeah, make sure you get the location done. Number 2, I feel like this might be the most important thing of all. Make sure your music is right, people. Please, 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 please do not come over to any type of pool function with a free subscription to Pandora or God knows what you're doing. If you're gonna be responsible for the music, make sure you pay for some type of access, because nothing is a bigger buzzkill than hearing, would you like to hear ad-free music? Click on this ad now, which is counterintuitive. Or the idea where you're like, want a break from the ads? Blah, 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 blah. Nobody needs that. We need music just playing the entire time, because a lull in music is going to be a lull in the vibes, and we're just trying to vibe. But on top of that, make sure your speaker is adequate enough for this type of get-together. And I don't mean you got to go crazy and have like a whole like DJ setup or anything like that. I mean that if you're going to bring some rinky-dink like Bluetooth speaker that really just covers the space of like 5 chairs, just understand that it's going to be weird and nobody's going to really want to, not that nobody's going to want to deal with it, but it's like, yo, you could be overtaken by some larger goons with a larger speaker. That's not saying to go get a crazy speaker, but make sure it's big enough to include others in the party. But on top of that, please don't be the douchebags that are rolling over with their giant speaker just playing trash the whole time. Like, if you are bringing a speaker, a loud speaker to these parties, you're officially the same role or job responsibility that a co-pilot is on a road trip that has the aux and all that stuff. You're responsible for the tunes and you're responsible for the vibes. And if you're going to be a douchebag and play your music over everybody else's and not include anybody else in the party, you're not going to come out with a good time. If anything, people are just going to tell stories like this one right now, where you and your douchebag friends were playing just like Britney Spears, and not the good Britney, but you and your friends are going to be playing some weird ass, like fucking, I don't even know what would be, I don't know, Michael Bublé's Christmas album at the pool. That's kind of what it feels like at this point in time. Make sure you're including people, because nothing says I'm an asshole like exclusion. So make friends with people around the pool. You guys are already not wearing enough clothes, so you might as well be friends for the time being and then keep it moving. But then on top of that, brings me to number 3. Number 3, I know I said number 2 is pretty important. Number 3 would probably be like second important. Like, if once you get the location, once you get the tunes going, once you have like adequate playlists and whatnot, by the way, just invite people to a Spotify listening party. You're going to be fine with that. But once you have that under wraps, the next thing honestly is just going to be drinks and food. And I'm not saying you need to provide the drinks for everybody. Listen, it's 2021. You can decide if your friends are trying to be independent or if you're trying to supply whatever these libations are. I don't really like that word anymore. But yeah, just understand that if you're going to be drinking, if you're going to be drinking, make sure you have a cooler or something to keep your drinks cold. Like, nothing's worse than warm beers or warm waters, honestly, or drinks, beverages, sodas, whatever, you know the fucking deal. Nothing's worse than warm drinks by the pool, because I feel like that messes with the entire thing. So either go to Amazon, go to Walmart. Shoot, there are like tote bag coolers from Walmart that'll fit like an entire 12 pack of whatever drink you want, but make sure you're getting enough space in there so that you can keep your shit cold. But then on top of that, if you're not bringing pool-friendly snacks. What are pool-friendly snacks? I have no fucking idea because I've yet to bring them, but probably something that doesn't get soggy as shit when you start like eating it and everything like that. But I would venture along the line of saying that like a pool-friendly snack, Lord knows what it is. It might be popsicles. It might be, honestly, what would it be? I don't know. Grill food, possibly? Like if you're going to have somebody over at the grill kind of thing. I mean, that might be a snack. But if you're not, just understand that you're going to need to budget for this DoorDash, because Lord knows people are going to get hungry and you're going to end up looking like fucking SpongeBob when he's out of water. He's like, I don't need it. That's not his voice. We might take that out. We might actually cue that up. But yeah, make sure you're bringing enough drinks and snacks, because the people don't want to starve, and you don't want to be looking like a bum just sitting by the pool being like, yeah, this is nice. I'm just enjoying the good times and breathing, because that's boring as shit. And a bonus tip, I guess, for you guys, and honestly, if you don't bring this to a pool party or like to any type of pool hangouts, you're an animal, but make sure you have sunscreen. So bonus tip for you, bring sunscreen, even for those like myself that have been blessed with melanin of all levels. Make sure you're bringing sunscreen, because what do you think? You think you're tougher than the sun? You think you're tougher than that thing that gives us light and life? I mean, less scientifically, but we'll get into that. Ain't no way. Like, and for anybody that's ever said, and I'm talking about people of color, because I used to be like that, and then I spent about like, I don't know, half hour in a North Carolina pool. For anybody that says you don't get sunburned, you're a liar. And listen, there's a lot of bad things associated with that, but just make sure that you got your sunscreen on, that you're reapplying, because if you're like me and just apply one time, you're looking for a bad time when it comes to being burned. And outside of all that, all the other consequences that come with long sun exposure. So put it on there. If you got that melanin, hang out with SPF 30, hang out with SPF 50 or 15. Do your thing. Shoot. If you're lighter, hang out with SPF 50, because Lord knows you're going to need it. Don't try and fight the sun. Do your thing. But guys, if you do those 4 things, man, your pool time is guaranteed to be wet. I didn't even like that before it came out, and I still said it. But yeah, have you a wet ass pool time. Do your thing. Make sure you're bringing the vibes, and that you're gonna be fine. But we're gonna take a break. We'll come back, and then we'll talk about how some of y'all are just loud as fuck.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
And we're back with the great debates. Last episode, one of these days I'm gonna get it right. But last episode, we asked you guys, would you rather yell all the time or whisper all the time? And 60% of you said whisper all the time, which, if anything, I found out during this entire kind of poll that, how do I phrase this? I'm not surprised. Most of the people that I know that voted for yell, they are along the lines of my louder friends, so I'm not actually surprised at all. Actually, there's one comment thrown around to a friend group where it's like, this person is incapable of not yelling, and they don't even have to worry about this challenge or debate or anything like that, which I would agree. So, if you loud, be proud, do your thing. And then for the 60% of you that decided to whisper, what the fuck is wrong with you? Is this fine? Is this what you want the whole time? I don't want this at all. Oh God, I hate that. Oh, mouth noises and everything. There's no fucking way I would ever do that. I disagree with 60% of you guys. I'm going to be loud all the time. And that's mainly because, well, if you knew me in high school, your boy was the quiet type. Is that true? That's true. Don't let my self-doubt let you doubt me. Don't do that. But yeah, if you're the quiet type or spent time being the quiet type and you just found your voice, if you want to call it that, you're not going to be quiet anytime soon. So I'm going to disagree with 60% of you guys. I'm going to side with the 40 this time and say, hey, I'd rather yell all the time, like I did this past weekend, where at least by dinner time, I knew I was going to lose my voice. And then I spent most of Sunday talking like this, and it wasn't a good time. So yeah, I'm going to still yell all the time. Maybe I'll mess up my vocal cords permanently or something like that, but I just can't do the whisper thing. Nothing good has come from a whisper. Yeah, let's say nothing good has come from a whisper. If anything, really creepy shit has come from whispers. So yeah, we're going to go with the yell. This week, I can't wait to talk about this next week. But this week, how do you shower? Do you face the water or do you turn away from the water? Like, is the water hitting you in the front or is the water hitting you in the back? You dirty people need Jesus. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the polls. I got a couple things to talk about. We'll just say this. Listen, if your back is to the water, maybe we got some height issues. But also, if you're facing the water, maybe we have some emotional issues. Like, let's just talk about it now. I mean, shit. If your back is to the water and your immediate response to that is like, oh, hey, I just don't want the water like hitting me in the face or anything like that, yeah, I'm going to say that you're short. Whether you're a female, male, short king, stand up, do your thing. I say that as if I'm not short, but I am. But yeah, if you're doing that and you're just not having water, you're not a fan of water hitting your face. God, let's start that again. If you're not a fan of water hitting your face, it might be because you got you're vertically challenged and stuff like that. Because I know there are plenty of tall people where that water's not hitting them in the face, it's just hitting them in the chest, and you're Gucci, you're good to go. But also, if you're facing the water, like, are you okay in life? Like, are you taking detective showers where like your one hand is up on the wall, water just like running down your face kind of thing, contemplating life? Like, I don't think anybody that's truly happy is doing that. And if you are truly happy and you're doing that, good job for you. I know, I sit in the shower. We have done a whole fucking segment on a shaft before, so I got no problems with the water hit me in the front, doing whatever. I don't like say hit me in the front, pause, big pause. But yeah, I've got no problem with the water in front of me. I don't really, we don't trust nothing behind me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so let me know in the comments, the polls. How do you shower? Do you face the water or do you turn away from the water? And we'll discuss this a little bit more in depth next week. But with that, we move on over to the Friday follows. And yes, I know this week's episode is fast. I'll explain why in a little bit. But the first Friday follow is going to go to It's Black Rose 24. And that is my girl Natasha. She's doing the thing out here. She's slinging that. Whoa. She's out here doing bits, as we always say, when it comes to modeling. She's serving you looks. She's serving you information on different foods, back and forth. What you know about models that also know about food? Breaking stereotypes. That's what we're doing out here. But make sure you go follow her at It's Black Rose 24. The next person, and y'all gotta support my mans on this one. I would like to rephrase that, but I don't know how. Support my dude, QC Javi. So for those of you that are unaware, Charlotte FC put out the call for a chief fan officer, somebody to tie Charlotte FC to the culture, to the city, and have somebody that would lead this kind of charge. And QC Javi's making a run at it. And what better person to do it? The man is out here. My man is vibing. Anytime there's a soccer game in town or anything like that, he's there. Anytime it's content related to Charlotte FC or even soccer in Charlotte in general, my man is about it. Dude flew out to Denver to go see the Gold Cup finals? Copa America finals? I forgot. He wanted to go see Mexico play the USA in those finals. Like, Mans is about it, and he will be about it when it comes to Charlotte FC. So make sure you guys go follow him at QC Javi on most, if not all, social medias. But with that, guys, this might be weird updates, the awkward updates. This might be the last episode for a while. That's not true. That sounds super depressing. There might not be an episode next week because unfortunately my grandma passed away this week. Actually the morning of this taping. Yeah, I mean, that's life. At least she's not suffering anymore, but there's going to be a lot of travel. Gonna be a lot back and forth, so who knows if an episode makes it next week. But for now, we're just gonna plan on doing everything as normal, and then if something comes up, you'll hear it from me. But other than that, dudes, this is the wrap up. It's Friday, or maybe if you're not watching this on a Friday, I gotta stop saying that. It's the wrap up. You know the deal. But make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the Problems on Problems podcast channel here on YouTube. Make sure you follow us at Problems on Problems podcast on Instagram, at Problems_pod on Twitter. And per usual, follow your boy at Mike Santi 18 on all social media, guys. But like I always say, if it's not a good time, hope it's a good story, and I will see you next week.
She get to the cash when she walk. She look like a bad when she walk. She get to the cash when she walk. She look like a bad when she walk. Girl, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Girl, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. She get to the cash when she walk. She look like a bad when she walk. She get to the cash when she walk. She look like a bad when she walk. Girl, do it, do it, do it.